I can't even deal with this Orwellian stuff. I can't deal with this.
That's insane to me that Kotaku and Polygon are on there.
Sure.
There has been a new law passed in the United Kingdom that basically is like a rules for thee but none for me type of deal. So if you are the BBC or like the Telegraph or the Guardian, you can go and pass and write these mainstream media facts and publish all these articles, and they can totally be fake and lies, which is what the MSM has already been doing for the last couple of years. And there won't be any discourse, there won't be any like problems for them. It's fine. However, if you go and state something on social media, YouTuber, where they consider it to be misinformation, and keep in mind most misinformation nowadays is actually been proven true years later, you can go to jail for 1 year for each time you spread misinformation in jail. So yes, hi Kenzo, you will be in jail soon.
Wow. So I'm going to read this really quick. It says, welcome to the UK, where you can now, where it's now official government policy. You can't publish misinformation, but the Guardian, the BBC, Disney, and Netflix can. Yes, it's true. They recently signed online. This is how they always do it. They usher it in with wonderful branding. The Online Safety Act brands the publication as false information, a criminal offense punishable by up to a year in prison, unless you're a mainstream media outlet. That's totally fine then. So there you go. Here's the actual thing as part of it right here. False Communications Office. The message conveys information that the person knows to be false. At the time of sending it, the person intended the message or the information in it cause non-trivial psychological or physical harm to a likely audience. What does psychological harm mean? And who?
My feelings were hurt.
Right.
But also, you might want to zoom in. YouTube really can't see that.
Got it. There we go. Sorry. Exemptions from the offense. A recognized news publisher cannot commit an offense under Section 179. Oh my gosh. An offense under Section 179 cannot be committed by the holder of a license under the Broadcasting Act of 1990 or 1996. Yikes. So if you're in the club, you can say what you want. But if you're not, straight to jail.
Well, there's even more to this, right? So let's say you are in trouble now for spreading misinformation, and you want to appeal it in the courts saying, actually, this is facts. What the courts can do is show what BBC has been saying, and like, well, this is the truth. This is factual. And they can use that against you. So even if the BBC is wrong and it's incorrect, you can still get punished, and it's like your case is thrown out, you go to jail. Even though you're actually right. Let's use Adam Krigler, for example. Adam's been on the show before. Everyone knows his story. He got lots of strikes on YouTube for like COVID or whatever. And it turned out what he was saying years later was true, right? But he got those strikes. It's the same thing here. If you say something and it's considered misinformation, you will be punished for it in the UK. So move out of the UK, everybody. It's overrun anyway.
This literally is rules for me, but not for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if they make an article attacking you and you debunk it, you go to jail.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
fucked up, man.
It's all about controlling the narrative and spreading misinformation, which is just free speech. So you'd be like, oh no, that's not true. Here's all the facts. No. BBC would be like, well, we published this, and this is the truth.
So there's this video by a creator named Neil McCoy Ward, and he goes into this pretty extensively. I want to watch about 4 minutes of this video with you guys as we go through here. Once again, Blabs found this. Credit to Blabs here, bringing this to our attention here. Shout out to Mom Blabs. Let's just kind of see what he has to say. Flash at any point, you can just tell me to stop.
So we can see this is not some sort of fake website or anything like that. Here it is here, www.gov.uk. So this is the UK government website. And here it is, fake news to put online abusers behind bars from today. So I won't go into this whole thing because there's a lot here, but this does link to the Criminal Justice Bill of 2023. If you want to start reading through all of this, if you want more reference around what is actually going on here. You can read all of these documents. But here's the biggest problem that I've got with the bill. I'll talk about the positives of the bill and how it protects children, which is a great thing. But I also want to tell you the nefarious things that they've put in this bill, which is how I know there's a lot more behind this than meets the eye. UK's Online Safety Act officially grants MSM, which is the mainstream media, permission to publish lies.
I still, this is just so amazing to me. This seems so Orwellian. So
Dystopian.
like the idea that that we're even having this conversation seems like something you'd read in a book. Like, and you know, obviously 1984, this where the apocalypse is happening, and like, would 1984 the book be seen as punishable by a year? Like, it's fiction, right? It's a fictional piece of work. It is technically misinformation because it is a fiction story. It's not accurate, right? Or is it? Who knows? My goodness, this is just insane. Zazimus says, check out Wikipedia's list of approved sources. Blab, see if you can do a little digging on that. Would appreciate that. Let's continue here.
You might say, huh? What does that mean, Neil? Well, welcome to the UK, where it's now official government policy that you can't publish misinformation, but The Guardian, the BBC, Disney, and Netflix can. Yes, it's true, and I'll show you the clauses as we go into the law on this as well. The recently signed Online Safety Bill.
Read a little bit of this already. Blabs, do you, Flash, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, man.
I think it's so that because they know that their organizations are not. This is a move to save a lot of these organizations, is what it is. Because I mean, look at us doing this right now. This is pretty cost efficient for us to do.
Sure.
Versus them with all they've got to pay, and the past couple of years they've ruined their image, just going all in, trying to get rid of people like Trump. And look at that guy in El Salvador, that president over there that's turned that country into like the safest place in the American continent. They don't like him either. And they have to do something because they don't like people like us putting stuff out. They don't like it.
Well, and that's the thing. Just having a conversation now, the way they covered that is by saying if you know it's false, right? Let's go back just 4 years ago, right? 2020, literally about right now. 4 years ago. This time, COVID happens, right? We go back to Adam. He had 9 strikes on his channel.
I remember.
And most of those strikes were based off information that has now been verified as factual. So it's all about shutting down dissenting opinions, which is just absolutely insane unless you are a part of the narrative. You know, and that's been the most amazing thing about this is somebody who has just kind of been watching from afar, being like, this is kind of crazy. Like, this is really, really silly. It's like they're putting their cards on the table at this point and saying, like, here, like, we're showing you what we got, right? And it's not a good hand. But guess what? I'm also the dealer, and I'm also the house. And by the way, I'm also security, you know? And it's really like upsetting. Blabs, did you have that list pulled up, by the way?
Yes, so this is what I found. I'm assuming this is what he's talking about. Let me zoom in so you guys can read this. All right, so this is apparently all the sources that are approved. 112 Ukraine, ABC News, The Age. I don't really know some of these because they're, global stuff, but yeah.
Jezebel was up there?
Al Jazeera.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, it's a little different. Okay.
If you're going through it so fast, I saw the jizz.
Sorry. I'm trying to see names that we know, like Alternate, Amazon,
Amazon.
Conservative, Amnesty International. Yeah. Ancestry.com, where they take all your DNA.
Wait, so is the red seen as a positive or seen as an approved resource? Like what are these?
What does the red stand for? Hang on, let's see the top. It's not very clear. Source, status, legend-wise. What the hell?
So
I don't
I'm
really know.
I'm guessing that the Greens are seen as the ones that are actually good, as seen as
Maybe.
actual.
Oh,
right,
like
yeah.
ABC News. Yeah.
Marcus says, "Read the symbols." That's right. Read
There we
those
go. Let's do
symbols. There we
this.
go.
Okay, ABC News, The Age, Agence France, something something.
Al Jazeera,
Amnesty, Anti-Defamation, interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. So-
AP.
Yeah. Okay. So these are all quote unquote legacy media right here. That's what we're
yeah,
looking
The
at this point.
Australian.
The AV Club.
Wow,
what?
that's a trash site. So is Axios.
Wow.
BBC, obviously.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy that the AV Club is seen as that. My goodness.
Bloomsburg.
Wow. You know,
BuzzFeed News. What the
Yeah, the hardcore journalists that do big, hard-hitting pieces on man-spreading.
that's really all you need to know at that point. Like
CNN.
BuzzFeed News is seen as an authority to the UK. My goodness. Deadline Hollywood.
Deadline, aren't Variety, Deadline, they're all run in AP, aren't they all run by the same company anyway? So it's literally just one voice.
You want to talk about playing your hand and knowing, like, this is a list. This is a list of every news organization that is in.
And we're still scrolling.
Yeah. That's the thing. Game Informer.
Informer.
Wow.
Game
Game
Developer.
Informer is seen as a reliable outlet. They're the old. By the way, was IGN on this list?
I have not seen it yet.
HIJK element. See, so yes, it would be after this, right? Yes,
Hollywood
after
Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter. Make sure-
Aha!
There it is.
There you go. Okay, so IGN and Games Informer are the only two games media that are seen as factual, which is amazing. You wonder if Kotaku's on this list.
International Fact-Checking Network?
Oh my God. Yes.
Who's
see if
fact-checking that?
See if Kotaku and Polygon are on this.
All
This
right,
is
here we go.
insane.
Oh, nope, that's it. Just these for
Okay,
today.
well,
they
at least
got-
there's that.
they
The
got-
Mary Sue?
Ah! I ratioed that bitch twice
Wow.
over the weekend.
Oh, what about Polygon? Is Polygon on this list?
MSNBC, we're gonna scroll to NP.
God.
All right, here we go. People make games. Pew, research reporter. Playboy, what? Polygon, there we go.
My goodness. So these are your authentic sources right here. These are the
Hashtag
approved
journalism.
narrative, man.
Wow, this is insane. Polygon and Kotaku being on there,
Rolling
really.
Stone.
Rolling Stone. Oh, my
Rotten
goodness.
Tomatoes, bought out by Disney for review.
Okay, hold on. Go back to Rotten Tomatoes real quick. This is actually a really important question. Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregator. Their job is to take people's opinions and take the public's opinion. So if I, as a public person, post my thoughts on Rotten Tomatoes, do I then have authority? Is it seen as an authoritarian take? Can it be seen as something that is approved? Or does it have to be from Rotten Tomatoes staff? These are all important questions that I don't even know. Wow, this is insane. This is crazy.
SCOTUS blog, Sky News,
And how do you get on this list? That's the question. How?
Can we get on this list?
I don't want to be on this list. The last thing I want to be is on this list.
But that would prove how easy it is to get on the list, is what I'm saying.
Well, see, okay, here, go up on the left side. What if my news source is not on there? See, check that out.
If your source is not listed here, the only thing it really means that has not been the subject of repeated community discussion. Or we're going to become the discussion with the #1 gaming and entertainment.
That's right. We're gonna make this happen because we are the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. You know, just saying, ridiculous. I can't even deal with this Orwellian stuff. I can't deal with
That's
this.
insane to me that Kotaku and Polygon are on there. That's
Yes.
wild.
Wow.
And it's funny, like you said about Rotten Tomatoes. Why is that even on there? They don't write. Do they write articles? It's not like
I'm
Rotten
sure they
Tomatoes
do
is just the average.
Kotaku isn't on here, so that's a plus.
Yeah, Polygon was though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just insane though. Polygon though, as a joke, like what? Polygon? Really? Okay. My goodness. Like once again, this is the cheat sheet. This is everybody that you should not trust. They're giving you the list right here. If you're not on
Cross
there,
them off.
right? Like there it is, right there. You've given it to you. Everybody in green is everybody that should be read on your list. That is That is crazy. Kinza says we read 1984 in ninth grade for school in the 90s. Probably banned in schools here now. Yes.
Yeah, and Kenzo's from the UK, so he would know.
Canna Dave says rule of thumb: never aspire to be on a list. My goodness. Wow, that is insane.